Ironically, not even a pig farm.
We'll get the, woohoo, we'll start the recording again there. So hi, everybody. We decided to just have a little bit of fun and do it with the everybody in chairs view. We'll just see how that goes. But unfortunately, it's when people join, it's not putting them in a chair.
Yeah, they don't pop into a chair. That's a bummer.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, can I?
Standing room only at the back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like Harriet and Kelly at the moment are in the back. I'm trying to see if there's a way to.
Is it? Can you do on the? Can you click on the little three buttons and see if there's a way?
I was trying that, but there's not one. It just said, yeah.
Pin.
Yeah. Pin didn't work. I tried pinning Harriet and it said no. So then I put everybody back for a second, and then we'll just do them one more time and put everybody in a chair. Okay. Now then. We just thought it'd be fun to, look like we're all sitting in a classroom and talking to each other.
I'm not sitting up very straight.
Yeah, I'm usually like,
I'm very much leaning half in my chair.
Yeah.
Right. It depends on how far you are from your camera too. So.
Yeah. Okay. So now I look like, remember Edith Ann, the little kid in the giant chair that Lily Tomlin used to do? That's what I feel like now. Like the chair that I'm in is like, okay, I'll slouch down. Now I look like a kid.
I could, the further away you put it, the
I know. It's just too funny. Okay. So, hi everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be, this is something new that we're trying to, what we called a focused fan chat. So the idea is that we're just going to have a 30-minute conversation about Anu today, Anu Vei. Do we like him? Do we hate him? Whatever it is, but he's the subject of the discussion. So, pardon?
How could anybody hate him?
How could anybody hate him? Well, because he's a jerk.
Because he's a jerk at the beginning, especially. I don't think you hate him. As you go through the books, you develop a sort of a fondness for him, even if you hated him at the beginning. But yeah, he starts out being a pretty big jerk. So
I think it was the fish story that turned me from disliking him so
Only a
much.
jerk the first day with Gwen. After that, he was fine.
oh, he was still a jerk.
No.
Her stupid Earth girl all the time.
I loved him, but he was still a jerk.
That entire thing when when they come into after the ceremony where Asen has to name his bride, that whole entire conversation, Anu was a complete jerk still.
Was he a jerk, or was he just so out of his element that he couldn't process?
I tend to think that he was out of his element. It was just, he puts everybody in neat little packages because that's the way his mind processes things. And Gwen did not fit in the neat little package he put her in. She was the square peg in the round hole. And he couldn't handle it. He didn't know how to handle it. But
well, we find that out later that that's the kind of person he is. At that point, we didn't know enough about him to know that. So he just comes across as a jerk. But in hindsight, we can figure out that it's what you were saying, that that's just the way he thinks. But we didn't know enough about him at the time.
I mean, we know he talks back to Asen sometimes, and he isn't completely, protocol verse. But the thing that got me about that is that he actually looked at him and contradicted him and said, no, you didn't pick her. Oh, no, man, I can't believe you did that. And it's like, shut up already.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your foot is in up to your knees. Stop.
Didn't Gideon kick him a couple times?
Under the table. Yeah.
And he probably has multiple bruises from over the years from Genio kicking him.
Yeah. I imagine permanently bruised shins. Yeah.
And the thing is that Genio, which Vera let slip today, because I don't think it's mentioned anywhere in the books that Genio is some level of nobility. So he's more than a citizen. His family is nobility.
Yeah,
I've wondered for quite a while if he was related to Consul Denu.
I don't think so, but
like from the same family or something. It just something about the two of them.
I don't think so. I don't know. You could ask Vera sometime.
Ask
But-
Mary.
But the fact that Genio is nobility and how well he tolerates Anu is pretty amazing. That ups Genio in my esteem, in my estimation, that he, because he has to probably bite his tongue so many times when he's around Anu.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can imagine. Yes. I think I've worked with, I mean, probably all of us at one point or another have worked with Guinea. You know?
And Anu or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Anus.
Yeah. I meant to say Anu. Sorry. Yeah. A lot of Anus. Yeah. And I work in tech. I'm a programmer and I have been for years and years. And trust me, yeah, there's more of him than I would have liked to have worked with.
Yeah. And enough people who are just have no social skills whatsoever.
Socially challenged,
Yeah,
yes.
the poor guy had no chance. His role models were hitting each other with fish.
Yeah.
And he was from a very, very small community. And so he really had no opportunity to develop those kind of social skills
No.
until he got, picked to come out and go to cadet school. He really didn't have any opportunity to develop any good social skills.
I'm sure LaRonda will help him work on that.
So all right, so that's a good point. So what do you think about him being paired up with LaRonda? Good, bad?
I love that couple. I work with that
think
couple.
she's the right person for him. She's absolutely the right match for him. She just knows how to jerk him back and clap him a few times,
Harry,
I've used one of my Afrikaans
off
words
your
there.
chair.
But he needs to be slapped a few times, and she's just the right person for him in that sense.
I don't know that I would advocate, the useful slapping of people, but I understand that concept.
No, not the physical one, but with a tongue.
Yeah, tongue lashing.
Tongue lashing.
I don't know. I bet.
But when it comes to him, yeah, but he does need to be hit upside the head a few times.
with a fish.
With
With
a
a
Indicate today that some of
symbolic fish.
I was trying to go to sleep the other night and then got to the bit about the fish and I was just lying there giggling to myself. I was thinking, I'm going to wake up. I need to not be listening to this right now.
I had a great deal of difficulty understanding that, and maybe it's just me, but it's
A little bit.
wasn't
I
coming through.
don't, it might not, but when I was going to sleep a few weeks ago, I was listening to the fish story where they started slapping each other. And my husband had just got into bed next to me and I was beside myself, giggling my head in. I need to get my husband to go to sleep.
And sometimes it's really difficult if you're laughing because of what you're reading and then somebody asks you, it's like there's too much backstory to explain why this is funny, yeah. Because if you just said, oh, it's people are slapping each other with fish, then that doesn't sound funny at all, but yeah, I totally understand.
That whole scene when Asen is describing Anu and how, Gwen should be a little bit more patient with him. And, he's just, describing, okay, and then they're hitting each other with fish because I had to keep my composure. So I walk outside and what happens when he walks outside? A dog pees on him.
Exactly. Like, how do you deal with that, man?
There's the place in the books that indicates that dogs are another generic pet.
Yeah.
Because
They exist.
Always with the lower classes, though, it seems like.
And that could be, yeah.
It's hard to know. We don't know enough, but for sure, I picture that village in some ways like some of the villages I've been in Mexico in particular, but also in Southeast Asia, where dogs are just ubiquitous. They're they're street dogs, and they're all friendly, and they're not aggressive at all. And they're just laying in the street and they go trotting down the street and they must get fed from different people.
Well, I
And-
mean, I've told Vera several times that little Margot needs a dog.
Yeah.
You know, she needs a Chihuahua Terrier mix.
Oh,
Of course. I don't know why you would recommend that one, Nancy.
I have no idea. But you know, she'd have to be awfully careful because Kemji would be huge compared to.
Yeah, but I can also imagine that Kemji would be scared of his own shadow, you know.
Yeah, it would be an earth dog. Okay, she's got to have an earth dog. So yeah, Kemji would be twice the size, but you know, considering I do have a 14-pound dog that can go toe to toe with the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
It actually is kind of interesting that the dog in Anu's village was not described as being outsized, whereas Kemji was much bigger. And she said, you know, our animals have developed to be much bigger, but that dog, unless it started out as the tiniest teacup poodle, was evidently not that much larger than we would think.
Oh my
of.
God, how big, in that line of thinking, how big would a standard poodle be on Atlantis, you know? Like
Pony
huge.
size.
Like a
Yeah,
pony.
How
exactly.
about a Great Dane? Oh my God,
Yeah.
a Great Dane would be like a horse.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Doesn't make the poodle easier
Chihuahuas.
to groom.
I know the Chihuahuas are they come from the ancient Mayans.
That's true.
They were bred from them. So, and then the Shih Tzu were the Chinese, with Chinese royalty.
So who else has a favorite scene about Anu? Anybody want to chip in? We've talked about the fish slapping one.
Yeah.
Stone
Yes,
beer,
the kiss.
scarab beer.
Oh, the
Yeah,
scarab beer.
scarab beer.
When she
Yeah.
when he tells her what's in it.
Oh, at Chessup's bar. Yeah.
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 That's a
Oh,
good
it's
one.
so fun.
I like when Gwen walks out of the room of the guest bedroom into Aisen's workroom that first day after the court,
So shocked.
the noble, and he's, you know, he just cannot wrap his head around it.
Yeah, we were talking about that right before you joined. Although it's good to keep talking about it because I mean that's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh my
Anyway,
God. I mean, just
that whole entire thing. But yeah,
he just, that blew his mind.
you kind of
What?
feel for Genio because you want to reach through the pages and just smack Anu anyway or kick him in the shins. Yeah, like shut up.
What about the scene where he walks
Acting
into Gwen's bedroom when just after the wedding ceremony?
Oh yeah.
He was trying to hide. Yeah.
He was, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that scene.
Yeah,
yeah.
he closed his eyes. It was just
Oh,
mother
yeah.
of bed.
Because Asen and Gwen were kissing and Anu
Well,
walked in. It
kissing,
was
it
like,
was just-
Oh, no, I don't remember that one. That's funny.
The Gwen, or was it Asen that said that Anu was never to go in that room again?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was Asen.
that was Asen.
Oh, but then
He got
he said,
quite,
never into my wife's bedroom. Don't let me find you in my wife's bedroom. That was so cute.
Yeah, and then Jesus' wife for all of an hour.
Yeah.
yeah.
One of an hour.
Yeah, but you got to give him credit for, you know, standing up for. Just don't do that again. It's not appropriate. Okay. Yeah.
Although I did think they were really
Oh, you
lucky
could
that
walk into
after
my
the wedding
wife's
ceremony. Oh,
Hang on. Two people were talking.
Yeah.
Somebody pick.
my bad.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh, I was just gonna say when they went in there and found Anu, I just thought they were really lucky to be able to take a shower and change their clothes after the wedding ceremony. All of us that have been married can probably say that would have been really nice.
Yep.
So all the pomp and circumstances done, and now you can put on something else and take a shower, and that would have been nice.
Oh, I guess Katie's having audio problems. She should put in the chat. I love when LaRonda calls him Troll Boy for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
Troll Boy.
Here's to indicate that some of the couples that we think are stuck together may not be stuck. Did you hear that this morning?
Yes.
He indicated that it, some of those couples may not be a done deal.
Well, she did say there was going to be a wedding, so I'm sure that there are a lot of people that are going to assume that that's like Anu and LaRonda getting married. Well, I said some people will assume. That doesn't mean that they're
Well,
right.
that's true. That's true.
Means
But the thing is, you have to remember that it's 5 years later or 6 years later. If they were going to get married, they would have done it
they
by
probably would have already
I
done.
think it's
yeah.
more likely
Yeah, I
to
think
be
it could be
Gracie
somebody-
or George Gracie maybe. Or
That's
yeah.
Meek and
Manala.
Zilio.
I don't know.
I wouldn't have waited that long.
5 years. I
No.
don't.
think they would have waited
And
either.
Delia would not
You're
have waited
right
that
about
long.
George. I didn't think about George or Gracie, but that's certainly
Yeah.
within that time.
Manala
frame.
would be the right age because she's 12.
Manala would be right.
5-6 years later, she's really old enough to get married.
Yeah, Gracie.
Anybody can get
Gracie.
past her brother. Poor girl.
Yeah.
But he approves
Who
of
knows who's gonna-
George.
Who knows who'll be together? That'll be really fun when we eventually get to that book.
I mean, we do know that, Owala and Kerry, that's a done deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's done.
but I don't think that's going to be the wedding. I think that will have
No.
already.
They'll get married they'll get married fairly soon, I think, because now that Asen's married, that gives all the rest of them permission. All
I
the
mean,
aspects
I kind of,
that
for some
want-
reason, I picture Owala and Gwen comparing baby bumps.
at some point, yeah.
Yes, at some point.
You think Gwen's going to stop at the 5 kids?
I keep hoping that she has 1 or 2 more, and I don't know, but I really hope she has at least 1 more. I'd like to see them have 6.
Promise him 6.
Why 6? Is that just a number that a
No,
nice round
no,
number?
We mentioned it once.
Yeah,
Somebody,
She promised
because
him
Asen kept saying, I have at least 6 children somewhere. And so I always wanted him to have those 6 children,
Of his
and
own.
especially with Gwen, you know, what I mean, yes, he has these 6 other children, but now he has his own 6 children and that he gets to raise. That's why I think he should have 6.
Yeah, I think when she's trying to comfort him about them getting old together, she also says that they'll have at least 6 children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And
right.
that shocked her. She was like, what? 6
Yeah.
children? Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
So I think they'll have 1 more, but it will be like a little bit younger than the others. Like if, like baby Arita will be 4 or 5 when that one's born, 4 or 5 Atlantean years old. So it'll be like a little surprise package.
That's sort of somewhat, oops, child. Is that what
Yeah,
you think?
the last oops child, when they got really busy or something and she forgot to drink her.
Or the whole, well, I guess that would be a lot later. The whole, oh, well, we didn't think that we could have more kids and we weren't, doing the keep it from happening thing.
Oh, I think
They're pretty young.
they're pretty
Yeah,
young.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that wouldn't work.
They'll
'cause-
be drinking that for a long time unless they do something about it after they have as many kids as they want.
Yeah.
Maybe they can do some long-term, something long-term, that she wouldn't have to keep drinking that stuff.
Well,
So
the way that Deborah talked, she'd have to keep drinking it until.
Yeah, but come on, they've got technology and I hope it wouldn't take tying of the tubes. Maybe they have some other technology they could use.
They could sing something. I mean, they have voices of healing. Certainly they have voices that can do things with bodies. So
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you got the Cassiopeia super stuff.
Yeah, you gotta deal with that.
So back to Anu. So what do you think that his and LaRonda's kids would look like?
Oh my God. Not white and pasty like him, right?
I picture them as a beautiful chocolate brown
With red hair.
with red hair.
It's actually almost phenotypically impossible.
And hard to handle.
What would be impossible?
I said it's almost impossible for that combination. You'll never see it naturally.
What,
Oh,
no,
my cousins
Yeah,
have
I agree.
red hair and we are mixed. My cousins have red hair and both mother and father is my skin tone. Cousins have red hair with my skin tone and freckles all over the nose.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you do
There
get
you
it.
go.
No,
Yeah,
no, like
I've seen
Harriet.
freckles, yeah.
Well, my
Proper red
genetics,
hair.
my genetics class was a
That's
long
kind
time
of the
ago.
way I picture them,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
bright red hair
And
and.
don't forget that they've had 12,000 years of evolution too, which can make some changes in genes and mixing of all the different races, because they run from very, very pale white to very, very dark black. So
Yeah. We don't
genetic
even
mixing over
know.
12,000 years can do a lot.
We don't even know what LaRonda's, what her ancestry is.
yeah.
Most American Black people are probably up to 25, 35 or more percent white because of
Yeah.
their history, you know.
You
their-
watch that-
You get those throwbacks in the genes. I mean,
Mhm.
you do
Yeah.
get throwbacks.
So it's hard to know, yeah, that what genes would express themselves in their children, but yeah, I think they'd be really cute. And oh my God, with a dad like Anu, their mouth, they're gonna get, their mouths are gonna get him in trouble.
Yeah, I think they'll be
Oh,
really
and a mom-
smart and really
And a
difficult.
mom like LaRonda too, because she's very outspoken.
She's very
at least been
outspoken.
afraid
Both
to
of
say
them, yes,
Gonna be
they're
interesting.
both very
Yes,
outspoken.
but she has better social sense.
Yes,
She
she does.
does.
Yes, but she has better social sense.
Yes, she does.
Wait.
She knew how to handle people when she would always be telling Gwen when dealing with the bullies, you know, and
Yeah.
Rhonda never got bullied. You know, she knew how to look confident and like she was standing up for herself at all times.
That probably comes from, she may have had things where she's had to stand up for herself in the past, or like when she's been with Auntie Janet, she's probably grown that thick skin to like repel the bullies.
Or she may have just always been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had the
She
kind of
may just have been
personality
always one of
that
those
taught
confident
her.
people.
Yeah. Her personality was such that she learned how to stand up for herself. And Gwen didn't have that kind of
Also-
self-confidence at the beginning.
She has a younger brother and they grew up without a mother. So
Right.
she
had
would
to
be
take
very
care of-
protective. So that also makes her stand up. I need to protect my little brother.
Yeah.
So that also will make her stand up to bullies.
We
That is
really,
true.
I mean, we know that Anu had siblings, but was he the oldest or kind of in the middle? I don't remember.
He was
I
the
think it
only
was
one that
weird.
tested so
Right,
smart.
he was the only one that tested, but where was he in the, in the family,
Yeah.
Wasn't the youngest. I think there were littler girls anyway.
But I don't think he was the
Yeah.
oldest either.
Yeah,
but
I
think
don't
he was
remember
the
them
oldest.
saying anything about
That
where
one
he
might be
appeared.
the oldest, I think.
Yeah.
Where do you
It
think
sounded-
he'll end up
Really
with his
specified.
job?
It
You-
sounded like there was an
long
extended
term.
family in the house.
Where do you think he'll end up with his job long-term? Will he just be an assistant to Asen long-term, do you think, or what do you think will
I
happen?
don't see why not. I mean, the Ramatot had AIDS. We didn't see them, but he had them.
We had all those people like, for heaven's sakes, all the people that he would always call, the priest and the guy that was in charge of technology and those guys. I can see Anu being second.
Kind of department heads, but
They were-
they would still need like a personal secretary type aide.
Yeah, well, Anu and Genia doubled both as personal imperial aides and fleet aides. So they were kind of a double. Now that the Asen can't be in the fleet anymore, have to be strictly.
But I would think he'd want to keep him close, because if he has to become the imperator, then he would want people he has confidence in around him.
Yeah, that he people that he can trust for sure. And,
And
they're-
if we,
and I can't see Anu. I mean, Asa put up with a lot from Anu, and I think if Anu went out into, just sort of general fleet area or something, he might step on some toes of people that weren't so tolerant as Asa.
Yeah, that's my fear as well, that, he would, exactly what you said, that he would just piss off the wrong person and then be unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, that kind of thing does happen. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
if we look at in Wien,
Temper that any.
in Wien where where Asen used Genio and Anu to help him with what is that group called now?
Oh,
The rim.
The rim.
The Rim.
The
Yeah,
rim.
that he
Yeah,
trusted those two so much.
Yeah,
that
they
he
did all
didn't
the
even-
technical.
He
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
even bring
they
his Astra Diamond brothers and sisters in it. He just
Right.
kept it tight there. It shows how much trust he had in those two.
Yes.
So I think as the Imperator, he would keep them.
Yeah.
They are trusted aides.
Yeah, I see them both. They're very technical, and I could see them both, or at least one of them being in charge of all all of Asen's technical needs, his IT needs,
well,
Um,
Gwen has Lolu.
I
yeah,
was gonna say, the thing with does Asen want to keep Anu, I mean, that kind of goes both ways. Does Anu want to keep the job, as well?
yeah.
I think he likes it.
I think so too.
I know he loves it. Yeah.
I mean, he has tremendous respect for Asen, and he grew to really respect Gwen.
Yes,
Well,
he did.
that will only grow as time goes on. That'll only get better.
Hey, he bet on her in the games. He
Yeah.
won big. So,
I mean,
Because, I want a lot of money. Okay. Well, and the thing is, she asked him point blank, well, did you bet on me?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have had to
So-
bet very much on her to win a lot of money, though, because nobody was betting on her.
The odds were really high. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, the odds were really high, yes.
but I bet he bet a fair amount from his point of view, from what he had. I bet he came out pretty well. And I bet he and LaRonda, I bet he has enough to start them off like with a house or an apartment, some place that he could actually provide for her. I bet that works out.
I
Yeah.
hope that works out. Yeah.
Well, we have about 4 minutes left till before the scheduled end of our panel. So does anybody want to make any final comments about Anu that we haven't covered already?
I do love the
One of
fact.
my all-time favorites was the first time he caught Asen and Gwen. And all they were doing was, and they were
In
doing
the living room, right?
controlled yes, in the controlled kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know how old?
Ew, ew, ew.
I can't
And
unsee
then he
it.
was acting like a 5-year-old.
Do we know how old Anu is compared to Asen?
They're about the same age.
Yeah, they're close.
I got the feeling that he was a couple years younger than Asen.
I always thought he was younger, yeah. We don't
Yeah,
actually.
not a
know.
lot, but a little, yeah.
Asen
Yeah.
says at one point that this kid was close to him in age when
Yeah.
when he goes there to test him or whatever.
I mean, it might
Yeah.
be like a year or two,
Oh,
maybe.
and the fish.
Yeah,
Maybe
but,
for
but
the
he
art,
could be a year or two younger. Yeah,
maybe for the art thing next year, we can have people design fishes that could be used as in a fish fight.
For fish slapping.
Well, Sarah, are you talented in that area?
Well, I let's see, we could try quilting because then they wouldn't hurt.
make a stuffed
Pillows?
animal out of quilting material. You could make a 3-dimensional one. It would be really cool. Yep, I have no talent. I couldn't do it, but
I
people
don't
who
either.
are quilters and sewers could do it.
I could do it in Photoshop. I'm good at
Yeah,
that.
right.
They have cat toys that move like fish.
They do.
Yeah, I mean, those would be okay because mostly those have like, catnip in them, but I would not want anybody to get fish slapped with like, the Billy the Bass singing fish, because that would hurt.
That would hurt, yeah.
That would hurt. That would
You
really
need
hurt.
to get one of those that's made out of silicone,
Yeah.
that rubbery, sticky
Uh-huh.
kind of thing, and then you'd slap someone. That would hurt.
That would
Yeah.
hurt too.
Not only
that's
that,
what-
if
that's
it
what I
was
was
the
thinking of.
silicone kind of stuff, then it would also have that clammy feel to it.
Yes,
like
that's what I mean, that sticky,
Yeah.
clammy feel. And
Especially if it was cold. I got my dad kicked a football in my face when it was a cold. It was one of those big plastic bottles. Like, all day, not fun.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like.
pre-done videos submitted of fish fighting.
That's an idea. I like it. I'm making notes for things for next year, so I will actually put down the fish slapping. So yeah, we'll have to figure out.
I like Anu's reaction to Gwen when she's dressed up at the red dance, and he's just like,
Oh, yeah, that was another classic. with
Oh
him.
yeah,
His jaw dropped too.
yeah, that was fun to watch. Well, okay, watch from the perspective of imagining it. Yeah.
Actually, I was never a big Anu fan, even after like he started, even after finding out he was with the rim and stuff. But I noticed, I don't know if this was his ego thinking that he was smarter than Gwen or whatever, but he always wanted to teach her something. Like after the first, bad meeting, it's like with the piloting. Come on, let's show you how to pilot. Come on, join in. And I always kind of wondered about his motivation with that. Is like, was he trying to see if she would step up? Did she have the nerve?
I never had any
With-
bad motivation at all.
With socially awkward people, that's a 50-50. Half of them just want to help other people, and the other half want to prove they're smarter than everybody. So I don't know.
Maybe
which way
that's how
on.
he connects. Maybe that's
I mean,
how
it
he
could
connects.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, he connects through insults.
Yeah.
If he
That
insults you, he likes you.
yes. Right. So
I
I
have
don't
a
know if that's
very
necessarily
smart
true because
autistic-
he insulted a lot of people. I bet he insulted a lot of people that he didn't like too.
yeah, exactly. So then that adds to making it hard. Just because you get insulted, does he like you or does he not? You don't know enough yet.
Yeah.
Well, we've hit our time limit, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this panel today. I appreciate it. And hang on one second while I check the schedule, because last time I forgot to say what the next panel was.
No,
And-
it's the next focused
So
fan
the-
chat.
Yeah, and the
Another
next one's a
fan
fan
chat
chat
on Nafir.
about Nafir at, it starts at 5:15. You've got half an hour to like go to the bathroom and grab food and whatnot and before you have to come back. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you on the next panel.
Bye.